What were your first Trent fish, Sean? Just rest you there, I'm gonna get Matt. It's gotta be a barbel, isn't it? What it is, but I've got a fish on low. Oh, that's a big one. That is well over £20. Right, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. June 16th, and look at this. I've never fished out like this, so this is a new one on me. Look at the state of that, the mighty River Trent. So I've dropped my gear in a swim. There's a match on, but they're further up that way. So I've had a word with them and they said if you can get in down there, get in down there. So I found a peg. I'll show you. I tell you, I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to mix it up. I'm here for 7 days. I'm going to see if I can do 2 videos for you. One, Trent barbel obviously, and another one, low fishing for zander and pike, because you know I love a pike, don't I? So I've got my gear. And this is the swim. I've brought some heavy gear thanks to Dean from DS Leads. He sorted me out with some gripper leads, because I'm going to be chucking quite a long way out, I think. So let's get set up and get fishing, eh? Bring it on. First chuck ever with an 8-ounce lead and a PVA bag. Wow, that's mad. Right. That's holding. See what happens. Right, we're fishing. So I've got 2 14mm halibut pellets on. Somewhat rustling in bushes, probably rats. And first impressions, at about 60 yards it's quite shallow. In fact, it's really shallow. I didn't expect it to be that shallow. I think it's probably a peg that don't get fished that much because the match anglers are further up downstream. But I'll give it a go, you know, see what happens. If I don't get out here by the time they finish the match, I think I'll probably go up there and give it a try up there. But we'll see how it goes. First time out in Trent, and yeah, it's a powerful river. As you can see by its rod, it's a 2 3/4 pound test curve rod, that. So let's see. First day didn't really go to plan. I was fishing down there and it's super shallow until you get right across, and it was just too difficult to fish. I got one bite and missed it, sort of like just off the edge of these trees down here. So I've come up here, you've got depth on the inside, so I don't need to cast as far, so just a nice gentle lob. And that's probably about 10 foot there. Just gonna put that underneath the chair. Just lock that up a bit. And we're fishing. So let's see. I'm actually into a fish. And it's gone across my other line. Oh, never. A fish. Oh, there's going to be a mess here, isn't there? I don't care though. I've got a fish on. No. Come out of there. It's got to be a barbel, hasn't it? Is it? It's a carp. Never. Never. Oh. What were your first Trent fish, Sean? Carp. I think it's come off that other line. It's a nice fish. I'm not complaining. Get in. Nice mirror carp on the pellet. It's funny, you know, because tide has just turned. And river, as you can see, it's just gone flat as a pancake. Come on, kid. It's because it's so shallow. It's nowhere to go. Whoa. Come on. No, still not ready. Heck, that's a strong fish. Man, I shouldn't be surprised, should I? It's a river carp. Come on now. Get in there. Come on. Come on, come to me. Oh. It's in. By heck, that's a decent cat. Flipping heck. Right. Yeah, that's a nice fish, that is. tell you what. Just rest you there, I'm gonna get Matt. Come on, calm down. Oh, I'll tell you what it is. That's a big one. That is well over £20. Like I say, I don't care if I get my feet wet. Take watch off. Fish is fine. Tell you, these river carp, they're different gravy. Come on now. He does not want to play ball. That's it. Stay there. There you go. About that. By Christ. That's a fish. Dearie me. That's over 20. Easily. Let's get him back in. He's been ready to go since I got him in. Right, kid. There you go. Look at the size of that thing. Wow. Trent carp. Get in there. So I really wasn't expecting that. I mean, it sort of tore off. Didn't manage to get take on film, you know what it's like. But wound into it, and I'm playing it, and I'm like, there's some weight to this, but it's not really going, you know what I mean? And I thought, if that's a barbel, it's going to be a decent fish. Is that a plodder one, you know what I mean? But come at the top, it was a blooming big carp. But that's a first for me. I've never caught a river carp, so I'm well chuffed with that. Yeah, beat me up a bit and all, didn't it? But it was fine, it was in mat, and it went back strong enough, so yeah. As soon as tide turned, it just went like flat calm, like no flow. Seen a salmon jump out as well, and it were a big one and all. Probably about £20. Jumped out twice, got a good look at it. Mega. Yeah. Feels like I'm in again. Not sure. Am I? No. Stickfish. So this is what it's like then fishing the Tidal Trent. So it's basically where rods are now. I've just been speaking to wife on phone like 5 minutes and I was stood out there. like literally over there, and it's like 10 inches of water. And the weird thing is, I don't know if you can, camera's picking it up, it's actually flowing backwards. So it's meant to be flowing that way, but it's not, it's flowing that way, which is really weird. But I've never fished the tidal river before, so you know, it's getting used to what goes on when tide changes, and it, you know, it moves fish about as well. So, but I tell you something, I've met some really nice people round here, you know, getting to know area, getting to know people. Sometimes it's not always about fishing. You know, there were, shout out to old John, 74-year-old. He definitely won't be watching. But shout out to him anyway, because he were brilliant. Well, I was stood up bank talking to him for a good half hour, 45 minutes, and he said, I'm going to have to go because wife's in car reading a book, she'll think I've got lost. They were brilliant. And other guys as well, Ted, with his stick float, fishing off at Spit up there. And another guy, I don't know his name, but we stood and talked for ages. You know, I said, I'll see you tomorrow. So tomorrow's my last day, so hopefully, cross everything, something will happen. But if not, I'm not going away fishless. And after talking to people, you know, that know the river, the same way it fishes better, like in autumn, beginning of autumn. So you barbel guys out there, you'll drop a comment and you'll know. You know, hit sub button as well, because I'm going to be doing a bit more of this. I'll probably get myself a proper pod for it as well, you know. So yeah, fingers crossed. It's flowing upstream. Crazy. Right, I was just packing up the barbel rods and I was reeling in and something attacked my boilie. So you know what happens, you put a lure in front of it, it don't want to know, does it? We'll see. Come on. I'm doing the lure on the top job because I think that's what attracts them. Yep, keep trying. Right guys, just a bit of a recap on what's happened so far then. As you can see, I'm back in van. Had a good night's sleep. I'm going to have sausage wraps and a couple of coffees for my breakfast. And I'm going to head out with lure rod for a mosey about. Because the main thing that I can take from this trip, it's been a learning curve for me. Because it's getting to know the tides. I've never fished a tidal river before, let alone Trent. And it's absolutely massive, you know. So when the best advice I can give to anybody who's coming and fishing tidal, it's sort of that when the tide's going out, the river's going like an absolute train. Honestly, 8-10 ounces of lead to all bottom. But as soon as tide turns, and it starts to come back in, it backs Alt River up and it just goes like a pond. It's really, really weird. And that's what give me the opportunity to whack a lead across to tree line, because I thought that's where they'd be, and it paid dividends, didn't it? You know, with that carp, it were an absolute belter. I've never had a river carp, so that's a tick for me. You know, it's a new one to channel as well, so I'll get this breakfast down me, and then I'll get back on river with low rod, and fingers crossed. It's a tough one. I wouldn't mind a pike, but I'd love a zander. But there's meant to be some big perch here as well, so anything that grabs that lure will do for me, you know what I'm like. So I'm going to get this breakfast down me and head back to river. Guys, we're back again. It's high tide, so might have a bit more chance on lures. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Predator Pursuits Terminal Tackle for wire traces. Scott Williams, get in touch with him. And also I want to give another shout out to Dean at DS Leads. So I've been fishing with his leads for barbel, so I'll go and check him out, DS Leads. I'll try and leave a link in the description for them both. So let's try again. There were an old guy trotting a stick down here yesterday. There was an almighty crash and I thought he'd fallen in. But he'd not. A pike grabbed his bait, his bait, grabbed his fish when he were bringing it in. And he were right here. So without further ado, let's get chucked in and give it a go. Right, just for a change, I thought instead of cooking in van, I'll cook out here in awning. So shepherd's pie. It's gonna take a while. I'll leave that to the side. Get that going. So what I've got is minced beef and onion and instant mash, so I'm going to put it on top make a shepherd's pie. Why not? I won't put you through rigmarole of me eating it though. But I just thought I'd cook outside because it's really warm. And I don't want to be stifled in there. Sorted. Wow, that's hot. Instant mash. Don't judge me. It's delicious. Put that to the side. Oh. And then all I need to do is put it on top. It's a meal in 2 minutes with a double spoon of approval. Right, I'm going to tuck in. Right, the barbel fishing's been absolute pants so far, so I've decided to nip back to the van and get myself a bit of low gear. And I'm going to see if I can catch a pike or a zander or a perch maybe. Let's see. If not, there's a pint right, there's a pub right next door and it's got a pint with my name on it. Right, let's give that a go. What it is, but I've got a fish on lure. Get in. Pike. Oh no, it's off. Don't swear. Aye, aye, aye. If that had been a zander and it had come off, I would have swore. Oh. Right guys, we're getting towards end of week now. Thank God. It's been a bit of a grueler if I'm honest. I've fished 6 days on and off, you know, different spots. I've fished with lures, fished with, you know, paddle tails, I've fished with jerk baits, I've been on Pacific tuna, boilies, halibut pellet, I've used pepper army, I've used luncheon meat. I've had 2 bites and one of them I converted into a fish. So, but just to summarise the trip though, because it's all been new to me as this, it's been a learning curve. So I've never fished the Trent before, and I've never fished the Tidal River before, so getting used to the tides and what it does to the river, it's quite an eye-opener. If you've never done it, give it a try. But from the guys that are in the know, there's been 1 or 2 barbel caught. I think somebody had a 14-pounder just upstream from me, and I mean, I'm still fishing now, but I'm just not feeling it. Do you know when you get that feeling it's just not going to work? Which is a shame, but I've still enjoyed it. You know, I love a challenge, me. And but it's like when tide turns, it's like it's rapid that way towards sea, and then tide turns and it just goes like a still water. It's really weird. And then if it's a big enough tide, it starts flowing upstream. So it's mind-boggling really. But the guys in the know are saying early season's not that good, to be honest. But you know what it's like, you get itchy feet, don't you, and you want to get on river and have a go on. You know, I thought, well, Tidal Trent, if I can get into barbel, that'd make a brilliant video, but it hasn't happened. And that's fishing, isn't it? You know, sometimes it don't happen. So yeah, it pushes it all the way up to, I think it's Cromwell Weir. I'll see if I can put a little sort of map description of it in here somewhere now, just so that you can see it. But I'm going to come back because I won't be beaten. But they say in autumn time, beginning of autumn, so I'm going to come back beginning of autumn. But I'm going to upgrade my setup, get a better setup. Now I know what I need. It'll be hopefully different next time I come. So I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, if you have, smash that subscribe button for us, because I really do appreciate it. You know, work that I put in behind the scenes that people don't see. So yeah, if you've enjoyed it, like button, subscribe button, and leave a comment about, you know, if you've fished it, how have you found it? Let us know. So yeah, if I catch out else, I'll put it in. But if not, as always, thanks for watching, and tight lines.